Yes. So looking at the space inside here, there's not a great deal of space, but I definitely get a Raspberry Pi Zero in there, but I do have a Raspberry Pi 4 that I'm not using, it's just knocking around, so I'm going to try and fit that in. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze, but I figure if I remove a lot of this plastic, I should be able to get it in. It would also be nice to have some USB ports in the front instead of these connectors here. Maybe a USB-C port at the back. And it'd be nice to keep the full-size HDMI port there. I'm not sure whether there's a way of doing that, but that would also be good. The Pi 4 uses one of these micro HDMI ports. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attack this with some flush cutters and a Dremel.
Keep cutting away, Steve. I'm just going to shout out the Holy Hand Grenade patrons while you do this. This week we've got Tidder and Jamrag Berlin. Thanks so much for your support, guys, and everyone else who supports me in these videos. Thank you.
Nice. Right, so I'm thinking it can sit sort of here, and if I can get... Ooh, hang on. Got one of these micro HDMI to HDMI connectors. What if I can put that there? Ooh, that's almost a perfect fit. Oh, that's nice. Right. Plastic does not taste good. Right, the only other problem I've got here is that the HDMI port on the original one was the other way around. Obviously can't have this one the same way around, so probably just have to do a little bit of trimming to this top part here. Let's try and measure these standoffs. Gonna have to make these holes slightly larger to accept the screws. You raise me up higher than a mountain. You raise me up. I think that's perfect. Yeah, that is bob on. How lucky is that? Right, so yeah, I just need to cut out a little bit of this to accept this up here. So just like there, maybe. Let's attack it with the Dremel. Right, let's see how that fits. Nice. Lovely. Right, so what I'm thinking for the USB-C is I'm thinking of... I've got a little breakout board. Let me go and grab one. Looking like Eric Cantona there. Here's one. And I'm thinking if I can put that in here... Yeah. I only need power and ground, don't I? Because there's no data. And then I can connect it to this socket here. Will that work? I don't see why not. What I'm thinking is get a USB-C cable, snip it off, expose the wires, and connect them to that breakout board. No, I don't think that's going to work. I think I might have to try and solder it directly to the pins, which should be doable. Need to figure out which pins are which. Okay, found this diagram. Looks like I can take a ground from either end, and then we've got the power on either A4 or A9. Alright, so I'm looking for A1, which is the ground, so I'll put my probe on A1 here, and I'm guessing it's this end one, which it absolutely is. Or I can just take the ground from anywhere, really, I suppose. And also A4, which is here. Let's see where that comes up. Well, the one right next to it. That's handy, and I presume this one as well. Yep. Okay, so either there or there. Let's run a couple of wires before I forget. This is more difficult than it looks. There's not a lot of room around here at all. Right, well that one's on. So we should have A1 should be going to here. And also A12. Yeah. And then the power one is A4. And A9. Excellent. Right, well let's see if I can get this USB into here. How am I going to do this? I think it might be better that way around. Oh, okay. Oh. A little bit of cutting of the case there, and that might be alright. Nice. I think a little bit of sparkly hot glue in here, that might just do the job. Red light. Green light. Yeah, that looks okay. Nice. Right, the other thing I want to try and do is the USB ports. So I'm thinking I can probably... Don't need USB 3, only need USB 2. Which is only the 4 points here. So I'm guessing it's 4 for one and 4 for the other. And what I'm thinking is a couple of these USB ports here. We've obviously got the 4 pins on the back. If I can fit them into this, slightly too... I mean, I can. It's just not going to look great, is it? Because it's going to be a bit of a gap round it. In fact, when you hold them there like that, I think that's going to look fine. There's going to be a little bit of a gap at the bottom, but I don't see that as being a problem. I think they'll look good. Do you know what? That's pretty solid. And I don't think that looks that bad at all. I can live with that. Let's do another one of those. It's going to look good. Right, let's get this under the microscope and let's attach some wires to those points there. In fact, we've got some very handy test points there, haven't we? Let's use those. I've just added some heat shrink just to try and tidy up these wires a bit. Right, let's see if that fits. Nice. Perfect. Yes. Right, we're getting there. Before I start preparing the SD card, I just want to make sure that this thing turns on. So I'm going to temporarily hook everything up now and just see what happens. I mean, yeah, I've got no idea what's going to happen, to be perfectly honest. Right, I'm not going to plug the HDMI in because it's not going to display anything because there's no operating system. But let's just see if it turns on. Nice. Okay, that's positive. I'd also quite like to use the original on-off button here. I wonder if I can. I still have the original board. Yeah, I should be able to use that then, shouldn't I? If I put that on there. Yeah, if I can figure out how this switch works, then I should be able to go from here to here and then back to here. Or, yeah, you know what I mean. Right, let's try that. So with that... Right, so that's on now. If I switch this, is it going to go off? Oh, yes! Nice! Right, how do I get this LED to light up? I think I've worked out the LED. So I've got a little wire running from the back of this switch here to this side of this resistor, because I presume that resistor is deliberately there to stop the LED from blowing up. And then I've got one from the ground. I haven't put this on properly yet, but if we switch it on, see, it comes on there. If I touch this ground to the other side of the LED, yeah, there we go, it lights up. And if I switch it off, it goes off. Excellent. So I'll tidy all this up because, like I say, I've just tacked all these on for now. And then I'm going to get all this put in this case. But first, let's have a look at the SD card. Let's prepare that.
I like to use Batasera as my weapon of choice for retro gaming emulation. For me, it's just so much more user-friendly. It's pretty much plug and play. I just need to flash the file to an SD card, and I use Etcher for that. Always very reliable. As soon as we plug this into the Raspberry Pi, it will create all the relevant partitions and all the folders we need to put our ROMs that we legally own into. And that's it. So let's go and whack this in the Pi and see what happens.
And there she is. And at first glance, you would not know that this wasn't just a regular Super Nintendo Classic. Obviously, we've changed the port on the back, and we've now got USB-C. I've also put a little door in the side, so I've got access to the SD card in here. But I'm really pleased with how it's come out. Let's plug it in and see if it works. Let's power it on. Nice. Awesome. Let's see if these USB ports work. Yes! Excellent. But I don't want to play it like that. I want to play it with a wireless controller, and a Super Nintendo one at that. So let's pair this up. Nice. Excellent. Love this music. Oh my goodness. Shia LaBeouf. Right, well, I'm going to go and clean out the plastic from my nostrils. I'll see you next time. You raise me up higher than a mountain. You raise me up